So we're about to start another slot of the Great Pitch Contest, a competition for the most innovative startups from the region and beyond. And today in the jury, we have Jakub Wiswary from AI Startup Incubator and Look AI Ventures. A round of applause. Sergey Fedushchenko, is that the right pronunciation? Okay, round of applause. Stanisław Rogoziński from Status Starter. Round of applause again. And Robert Grygorowicz from Speed Group. Round of applause. So much applause today. And the first startup who is going to pitch is joining us online. Do we have Stork Lab here?
Yes.
Yes. Hi. So you have 3
Hi.
minutes to. Hi. Hello. You have 3 minutes to pitch, 4 minutes for Q&A. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, I'm ready.
Ready, steady, go.
Hello, everyone. My name is James Turza. I'm the founder of the Stork Lab. Stork Lab is a innovative online health service that brings together time and place on a common platform. It's a service initiative that can provide on-site analysis and laboratory pharmacy services. So, Stork Lab offers users an innovative and secure system where they can quickly access over-the-counter medicines via couriers, as well as analysis with a few drops of blood from a finger, thanks to the easy-use kit. So why was it needed on the first count? It's traditional checkups and blood tests at hospitals can be time-consuming and involve lengthy procedures. Stork Lab provides a shortcut by eliminating the need of appointments and the paperwork. You can conduct analysis wherever you want, whether it's home, the office, or a coffee shop. Within 24 hours, you will receive your test results and making the whole process quick and hassle-free. So how does Stork Labs work? Customers can easily select the desired test from the Stork Lab application and place their orders with a simple purchase of process. Stork Lab couriers bring the test kit to the address specified by the user, and also Stork Lab kit users can find a QR code on the package that links instructional video that provides step-by-step guidance, allowing users to easily follow the procedure and perform the test with convenience. Users who provide a blood sample delivered to the kit to the courier, and the test result analyzed in a secure accredited laboratory is transferred to the user's mobile application and the profile on the website within 24 hours. Stork Lab offers a wide range of tests, including vitamin levels, infections, desired blood tests, and more. Customized test kits are designed to be used at home or wherever you want, and you can conveniently view past tests and even request nursing support or expert reviews from Turkish and Kosovo doctors through the Stork Lab mobile application. Our target audience includes residents of Kosovo with a focus on Pristina. We targeted high school, higher education students, young professionals, and individuals aged between 18 to 64 who value health and wellness. As an early stage startup, we have successfully developed our innovative healthcare product, and we are now seeking €170,000 investments or fund to accelerate our entry into the market. This funding will be utilized to drive our growth initiatives, expand our customer base, and further enhance our product offerings. We recognize the immense potential of our solution and the market demand for convenient and accessible healthcare services. By securing this investment, we will be well positioned to capitalize the market opportunity, establish a strong foothold, and to drive a rapid expansion. We invite potential investors to join us on this exciting journey as we revolutionize the healthcare industry and make a positive impact on the lives of individuals. So, meet our team. We have a co-founder of microbiologist who brings a deep understanding of microbiology and applications in healthcare, ensuring accuracy and quality of our laboratory services. Also, we have a senior marketing communicator who effectively communicates our value propositions and expands our reach. Besides this, we have additional team members which are software developers to build our robust and user-friendly applications. Also, pharmacists to ensure the accuracy and safety of medication-related services and providing reliable, trusted solutions to our customer. Together, we form a diverse team driven by a shared vision and revolutionize healthcare through innovative diagnostic solutions. Thank you so much. I'm willing to answer any questions.
Thank you. So now it's time for the questions. Slightly less time than 4 minutes, but let's go on.
So if I can start, So can you summarize somehow your differentiation from other companies providing lab tests remotely to the home? For example, telemedicine platforms. In other words, you can summarize just advantages of your tests.
As a Stork Lab, we stand out for its innovative online platform that provides convenient access to medical tests and services. Our user-friendly interface and personalized test kits and fast delivery systems set us apart from traditional healthcare providers. We prioritize affordability, accessibility, and efficiency to meet evolving needs of modern healthcare consumers.
Who is your most common customers and how you get to those customers?
We are actually on a seed stage, but we made a appointment with other business, include collaborations with other laboratories. We were trying to facilitate process sending user blood samples to List Lab for analysis. In return, we receive a 20% cut from the analysis fees and ensuring mutually beneficial partnerships.
Hey, can you tell more about the tests that are mostly popular throughout your platform? Because I'm really curious.
The most popular test we make around 30 or 40 biochemical blood tests. Let me check. So, because I'm not a microbiologist.
And do you understand correctly that these blood tests use these innovative methods of basically taking the blood, or?
Yeah, you can. The kit we designed is just had a lancet, and you can use that lancet to take a blood sample from your fingertips, and you give back to the courier, and you can analyze with little that blood sample. We can analyze 30 or more analyses on the laboratory.
Mm-hmm. But still, like, what's the most popular use case? Why do I want to take the blood test at home?
Because working hours and not having time for anything, you can go just easily order the blood test. You can have a thyroid, blood sugars, vitamin D, cholesterol, every test, besides HIV or hepatitis. Any test you can do with just convenience if you are at home or a coffee shop or at your office. Just a 5 minutes smart kit, and you just take a sample and you give it back to the courier, and you can get your results with an application and web within 24 hours. You don't need to go to a hospital. You don't need to go to laboratory.
Maybe for the last question, do you carry any liabilities for the accuracies of the result? If you think about it, let's say I'm diabetic, I take your test, it shows me I have a low glucose, and I take too much sugar. How are you liable for that?
Okay, but a quick answer, please, because we're out of time.
Okay. Before we make you make your test, we give you alert. Don't to eat, don't to use drugs before you making test. For we believe on your thoughts and we make the results. So when we look on the laboratory results, we have the same results as this method, and when you go to laboratory, it's completely same.
Thank you very much. And unfortunately, we need to switch to the next person. And according to my notes, it's Pierre from Hope Accelerated DAO. Pierre, are you here? So, round of applause. Microphone and clicker. This is for switching your slides.
Okay. Pardon.
Yeah, I can keep it. So let's start. 7 minutes free to pitch for questions.
Total. Yeah. Hi, my name is Pierre Euro. I'm co-founder of Hope Accelerated DAO, which is a decentralized autonomous organization. It's the first social impact DAO for the unbanked or underbanked. Why did we build this? Well, we felt like there are already more important things than an NFT marketplace or a metaverse for fashion or whatever, and there was something more important in the world that we could solve using novel technology available. And so what we decided was to look at the UN SDG goals, and we've developed a suite of decentralized applications that connect to this DAO, and basically have built a ecosystem of decentralized applications for certain B2B use cases for any marginalized communities around the globe. So the first, what we learned basically from doing this was we launched the service in a test market. When we look at the solution of our microfinance solution of block loans integrated into a decentralized exchange. We have about 21,000 active wallets within that, and found that there are about the loan size was about 100 to 200, and they could get their loans in minutes. They also were able to earn interest, or what's known as yield, in their wallet for coins that they earn throughout different decentralized applications. So it's a great learning experience. We had to add additional features based upon the current market that we're testing. Has 8 million active users, and there's 14 million passive, and realized that there were certain things we need to include, which we've now updated. And so the real value proposition is to enhance the current government and banks that are lacking the time and the effort to support these users because of things like inflation, devaluation of currency, and other climate change and other issues around the globe. That's pretty much it today. Any questions?
Wow. Perfect timing.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, can you tell more about your legal structure?
Yeah, it's actually, technically speaking, it's a constitution based on a delegate structure, similar as you find here in EU Parliament. We have regional delegates that are assigned based on a voting scale, so that it's one person in one wallet is one vote, and they vote for proposals that go to essentially a tiered structure rather than direct proposals as you might see in other DAOs. The idea is that the most voted proposals get to the senior delegate level, and then they're approved. We're working with Polygon for the last 6 months on this structure of this constitution related to this voting structure.
Can you tell more about the team behind the project?
Yeah, we have 15 total staff. We have a technical co-founder that is basically a technical architect. We have 2 types of blockchain developers and then full stack team, and then there's a local market team for the test market we're in to work with, say, influencers in this case of that country. And yeah, I mean, the revenue model is actually quite interesting because it's tokenized structure, which means we have it's ad supported through a mobile first dApps, and then you have ad revenue that switches from a certain type of token into a crypto token that's then put into the user's wallet. And there's transactional fees that we charge, not only in something called a liquidity pool that's in DEX, but also for transaction for on-ramp and off-ramp of fiat.
Could you please elaborate a little bit more on the problem you are trying to solve that is currently present on the market?
Well, it's not a market, it's the world. So this is primarily for, let's say, marginalized communities here in Europe, for example, for any representatives who don't feel like their access to banking services, which would include primarily loans, which is where we piloted originally for this service, and additional services for the various decentralized applications. So the centralized structures of Web 2, whether it's a Uber, or we have an app for a transport driver, for an Amazon seller, we have a solution for SMEs, for a farmer to share their wholesale inventory. So all kinds of solutions are there as a plug and play for whatever the business owner wants. They can leverage. Primarily, we launched with the MFI tool because having access to the loan and the money is, of course, primary for any of these types of businesses.
Okay, time for one last question. Okay, Sergey.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. So
Sorry.
maybe you can continue later after the
Yeah, sure.
competition. Okay, thank you. Okay, next up, it's Daniel from monew.io. Applause. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay,
Hello.
let's start.
My name is Daniel. I'm co-founder of Monew. Monew is European stablecoin, gold-backed and insured. Why we're here today? Why we're presenting? We are presenting a stablecoin which isn't on the market yet because we have three main points. We are gold-backed, we are insured against depegging, and we are fully MiCA regulation compliant. The problem Monew wants to solve is the problem with volatility and instability. The solution Monew brings is offering a solution for businesses mainly who require stability and security when storing and transacting digital assets. It's offering treasury services. It's one of the major services, major income when the businesses want to store assets in digital currency. Why now? Now is the best time because we have the MiCA regulations, which we consider as a great sign for the digital economy. And as you can see on the numbers, the global stablecoin economy is like 150 billion, and only 0.37% from this economy is in euro stablecoins, which is about like 450 million, which is nothing. So we consider MiCA regulation as our friend because it takes place for stablecoins in 12 months. We have 12 months to get ready for it, and we know that this economy must move because Europeans must have a strong euro coin. And what we learned already, because we have launched our stablecoin already in April, it's been like 2-3 weeks, we have 20,000 unique active users. We provide 7.5% APY. We support 7 major languages, which would be about 4 billion people. And we are global, basically. Yeah, that's it. So, any questions?
You mentioned that the problem you are solving is this volatility on the market. So, is not like other stable coins also tries to solve this problem?
No.
Can you explain it better?
We are insured against the pegging, which means we will not move, or like the users, they are insured against, if it falls down.
Okay. Which is not relevant for the other stable coins, right?
Oh, maybe some of them, but we definitely want to go to the market because we have experience in the last year in this world that whatever can happen, and we want to be trustful, and we want to build. We are building something which must have like more more trust than maybe the stablecoins now. That's why also we have this gold also.
Okay, thanks. Can you also reveal the background of the team and who is in the team?
We have like 10 people, and most active is our CFO at the moment. Because we are doing calculations which are the most important things now, and then slowly we are building a compliance team which is studying ever-changing MiCA regulation.
Can you tell more about the gold angle? And basically, you need a lot of gold, right? So and it means that you need to be institutional in terms of fundraising. So how you want to achieve assets, like large amount of assets?
We have gold partners, and we are looking for more gold partners because it depends how many coins will be issued. But we have partners already which are interested in this business, and institutional partners.
Okay.
Some of the aspects of MiCA will also force a level of transparency into cryptocurrencies that we haven't seen before. Are you not worried that this might decrease the attractiveness of the stablecoin somewhat?
No, definitely not. Maybe I have the opposite mindset. As I said, we consider MiCA regulation, which is something which will help this business, not the opposite. That's why we wanted to comply with MiCA, and that's, we are happy that it's coming because it's good for the business, as a whole, not only stablecoins, but the crypto business as a whole.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions?
Who at the end takes the risk of the downside?
Sorry?
Who takes the risk of this volatility on the market?
Oh, the insurer.
Who is the insurer?
It's a company who insures Web3 projects. It's a special company. We have many companies, our partners, KYCs, KYBs, custodials, insurers, special companies who specialize in Web3 insurance. They also cooperate with other European stablecoin from Circle.
And probably last question about the competition. So like probably there are a lot of competitors who want to, but it's not the easy market. So why you?
Because as I presented, we have a lot of security points, which is called back in insuring and MiCA compliance. There is no gold-backed stablecoin at the moment. That's why we're focusing on it. We are learning from the mistakes which have been made in the last year.
And I think it's a perfect ending of this session. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And the next startup is Spruce. Dmytro, are you here? Applause. It works, yeah. Like that. Ready?
Yeah.
Let's start.
Hello, my name is Dmytro, and I'm CEO of Spruce. Spruce is a platform like Uber for property managers. Did you know 460 million euro are lost globally due to empty apartments and houses? I have been in property management for over 10 years. I'm owner of multiple properties in different countries, including United States, and I always struggling to find a solution which will help to manage my properties. I was living in Warsaw for 4 years, and for 4 years, apartment close to mine was empty. Owner just lose money, as many landlords do. 59% of landlords are not happy with agency. Recently, one of my tenants moved out, and agency cannot send a person to do inspection for 2 weeks. I'm losing money, as many landlords do. That's why we created a Spruce, a platform utilizing the latest technology to streamline the property management process. Spruce is a cloud-based platform which connects property managers with tenants and landlords. And to use Spruce, you onboard your property, and tenants will browse listings, and tasks like inspection or showings will be assigned to property managers based on their close proximity to property location. We bring a gig economy, property management. Rental market is the largest and growing market. People will always need somewhere to live. Of course, you can stay at work during the day or do night clubbing during the night, but how long you can survive in such mode? While many companies exist on this market, none of them provide comprehensive end-to-end solutions like we do. Nowadays, landlords need to log into 5 different platforms to do their tasks. Exist cases when agencies make extra profits and don't share it with owners. We are first platform to provide full transaction transparency utilizing the distributed ledger on blockchain. Our business model is subscription-based with different tiers. Our roadmap consists of key milestones. We participated in Blockchain Accelerator in London. I have built MVP myself. We plan to launch in London and expand our services to our cities, United Kingdom, and eventually to other countries as we continue to grow. I'm a software technology professional with 25 years of experience. I worked for Google Cloud, AWS. I built many successful products, MBA holder. I'm ready to build a product for myself and society with the help of amazing advisors. We are looking for 290,000 euro to scale our business and expand our operation to the next level. During my pitch, 50,000 rental deals were made globally. I didn't want to miss such an opportunity. Let's make this journey together. Thank you.
Questions?
How do you plan to scale and to sell solution?
The product is available live, so you can access it globally because it's SaaS service platform. And as we start in the United Kingdom, we plan to integrate through API with our UK registry and lease database. So we'll extract the information about the upcoming end leases of property owners, and we'll start marketing campaign to onboard landlords to our platform. And of course, we will onboard the property managers who will help to manage their properties.
Have you tested if institutional landlords are also interested in such a solution?
Yeah, that's why we have a B2B solution. As you know, instead of fighting, it's better joining. So as real estate agency or development companies, you can onboard the properties, and our product support multi-tenancy. Data is fully isolated. So you can easily onboard your entire portfolio and manage it through us, as white label solution, so-called.
Hey, I really enjoyed your idea, but my question is about blockchain. So why blockchain? Have you seen any successful projects like yours with, for example, marketplaces where blockchain made sense?
Good question. Yeah, we use blockchain not because of buzzword or modern technology. I spoke with different landlords from different countries. And one of our problem which is brought by our traditional real estate agency, they say, okay, we list your property for 1 year rental contract. At the same time, they put on short-term rental, make extra profits, and don't share it with you. So we want to rebuild the trust by providing storing the lease transactions on the blockchain, and landlords always can verify with their property what leased and proper price, with a start and end date. So we want to rebuild the trust between property managers and landlords.
But technically, yeah, if people just trust your company and you have your database, it's the same, right?
Yeah, if you're administrator of database, you can easily erase any data. If you put something on blockchain, it's immutable.
Yeah, well, I understand this, but okay, I get it.
Yeah, we have MVP with blockchain capability, and our transactions already start on blockchain.
Okay, so I think there's no more time for any other questions, but thank you very much for your presentation. Great job. And the next startup, it's Vice Versa Labs. Philip? Andy, sorry, they gave me the wrong name.
That's the next slide.
Yeah, that's the next slide. Good luck.
Thanks. Hello, everyone. My name is Andy from Vice Versa Labs. I'm the co-founder, and we call ourselves a virtual estate developer in the metaverse. We think that in the future, the metaverse will be a very important concept. Also, there is a misunderstanding at the moment, I guess, because most of the people think that the metaverse is a parallel universe where people hide themselves away or are totally isolated. But in our mind, the metaverse won't compete with reality. It will enhance our digital life that we have today. Because we spend hours every day on the mobile phone, we spend hours every day in 2D environments, and we think that the metaverse adds a third dimension to that it will be the three-dimensional version of the internet. And there are a lot of use cases that could be built on top of that. We will talk about a couple of those later on. But generally speaking, there are two different kind of metaverses that we are seeing right now. One is a centralized metaverse that's Web 2 based, which Meta is trying to build. The dangerous aspect we are seeing in this kind of concept is that if one company is in charge of all the data and in charge of the experience and can do whatever they want, that could be very dangerous, because you have to think that in three-dimensional environments, you can track probably 100 times more data than you can on 2D platforms. So I think we don't want one company to rely on one company. So we are pushing for the Web3-based metaverse, which has blockchain technology on the infrastructure level. And this allows users to truly own all the data and all the assets, meaning that if you get banned from a platform and you have to go elsewhere, you can take your assets with you or even sell it on the open market. So from a market opportunity perspective, we think that as we see the metaverse as the 3D version of the internet, that there are a lot of use cases and a lot of capital that will come in over the next decade. Of course, there are some restraints at the moment, hardware and software-wise, but we think that, especially with Apple probably joining the space, the costs of the hardware and the accessibility will be better. And so, yeah, there's a lot of room for growth. To explain shortly what we are doing, we are, as I said, a virtual estate developer, meaning we put brands in the metaverse and try to be the gateway for them to build the open metaverse. So we have a team of 15 builders who really are very talented. They worked for FIFA and for game studios. And we are landowners in those decentralized, in these decentralized metaverses. And we provide the land and build experiences on top of that. On the one hand, for brands. But on the other hand, we also have our own projects inside of that. And that's what I wanted to show you in this short pitch. We have tried to build a use case in the music industry where we built a second layer version on top of an existing metaverse platform called Somnium Space, where we allowed artists to express their art, not just like it's possible on Spotify, the music, but everything else as well, the whole experience. So people could come to our ecosystem, we have a lobby, they could go in and they could jump in any artist worlds that we develop for each artist and talk to the digital twin of the artist, experience the music, experience the live concert, and have a way richer experience than just the music itself. So the imagination is the limitation there, and we think that it will be very important, and there are a lot of use cases. We see brands going in. We actually worked with a lot of brands already. And yeah, so if there is anyone interested in this topic or tries to find ways to add new revenue streams with that channel, we're more than happy to talk to you.
Okay, time for questions. Thank you very much.
So can you say more about the business model behind your company? So how you monetize these projects? Is there any recurring revenue also?
Yeah. As I said, we own land. Land in the metaverse is like domains on the internet, so you need that to build something on top of that. And we have several income streams. One is that if we build 4 brands, they of course pay us to do so. That's one income stream, and we rent the land to them. So as you have to pay hosting fees for your domain, they pay rental fees to us every month because we provide the land to them. That's one recurring revenue fee. Of course, we try to establish our own businesses, like the music world, where we put in artists. Of course, they also have to pay some maintenance fee on that. And you can, once you have the people there, you can monetize inside. You can integrate brands who sponsor the event. You can do that in a much greater way that is not disturbing in a 3D space than it's like on YouTube, where you're forced to watch the ad. You can more be part of the experience than just a spectator from a user perspective. So, yeah. And of course, we expect if the demand grows, that the assets we hold, the digital property, also might go up in value if we make it to get traffic there.
Any more questions?
How do you plan to scale?
Our strategy is that we target marketing agencies because they are working with a lot of brands already. They have established partnerships with them. So instead of going from brand to brand, we want to target the agencies and just deliver the technology to them. And with one agency, we probably, if it is a big agency, we get hundreds of clients. And it worked really well so far. So, and of course, if there is more demand for building, we have to hire more people. But at the moment, it's a good balance, I would say.
Can you also tell more about the co-founders behind the project?
Yeah, of course. He's sitting there, actually. We are both from the blockchain side, very early on. So we know how it technically works, and we also have other companies, so we know the hurdles when it comes to startups and marketing. From that side, we're doing the business developments and talking to the guys and pitching. But we also work with the platform provider very closely. So if there are features that we need, because the brands demand it, we have the technical capabilities to do so, because we have good connections to them. And yeah, I could say that we have really talented guys working in the background.
Okay, a quick last question. Okay?
And maybe for the last question, you've talked about your concern with data collection and its possibilities in corporate-based metaverse. But you're also talking about targeting stakeholders such as marketing companies and brands as your main customers and revenue streams. How will you reconcile this with the stakeholders, since they will be very, very interested in the ROI they're getting, and since they're going to be putting advertising brands into your metaverse, they will likely be interested in data collection as well.
From data perspective, yes, but from the asset ownership, because if you are like on Instagram and you get banned, you lose all your followers. So if you do that in the metaverse, you have all the assets that you acquire with you, and you cannot lose that. And from a data perspective, yeah, of course you can collect the data as well, but we will make sure in our experience that we have a good balance. But the important thing is that, what did I want to say? I lost it.
And we're out of time, so maybe you can continue the discussion afterwards. Andy, thank you very much. And the last pitch of the day, encrypted gods. Do we have the gods here? Yeah. Okay, one is coming. A round of applause. Louder! Come on, you can do it. It's the last pitch of the day. Let's go! Hey, the clicker. Unless you don't want to change your slides.
Sorry.
I mean, I can do it, but I think you're better at it. Yeah. Ready, steady?
Yeah.
Let's start.
Hello guys, my name is Vanja Čokić and I'm the founder and creative director of the Encrypted Gods, and I will tell you now a little bit about the evolution of gaming. So the story of the encrypted gods is that we are in the year 2030, the last humans on the planet are fighting for the last resources, and they receive messages that alien races are on the way and want to take over planet Earth. To prevent that, ancient mythology gods are reincarnated on the planet. They want to give them ancient technology to defend themselves. So the problem that we see, there is no ownership in games, right? You play 100 hours a game, what do you have? Experience. So the evolution of gaming would be if you use blockchain, that you can own your assets and you can decide, okay, do I want maybe to sell one of my 2 swords in the future, or do I want to keep it? So the path of the encrypted gods, that you should have fun and own your assets, right? So the fundament is that we want to create a fun game, enable asset ownership and simple blockchain integration. When I say simple blockchain integration, I'm not talking that we want to implement some tokens, in-game tokens where you can pump and dump it. We really want just to enable NFTs, and everything else is off-chain. If you, for example, think about World of Warcraft, it would just be that you own the assets and everything else is off-chain. So the game modes and steps that we want to provide is, we want to launch it in phases. The first phase is PvP. It's like basically a classic beat 'em up, like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. The second phase is that we want to onboard indie game development studios and solo developers, provide them the community, the economy, and they can build games with us for the community. The third phase is the universe. It's our metaverse called. It is based on MMORPG. And then the dungeons, where you can go with friends into dungeons. They are based on mythology, sagas, in real life events, and we will enable there also a level up system. So the market opportunity that we see is gaming in 2023 had a revenue of, has currently also a revenue of 230 billion. Gaming through statistics will have in 2030 1 trillion revenue. Web 2 gamers currently on the planet, we have 3.2 billion. Web 3 gamers, we have unique active wallets, 800,000, and some of them like 150 to 200,000 are playing games. The competitive advantage is that we have this mindset that we're listening to the feedback of the community, because it starts in Web3 with age to age, so human to human, and we're also not afraid to use the newest technologies like AI and blockchain. The business model that we have is Web 2.5. So we have Web 2 if you think about the normal games, like battle passes, in-game assets. We have sponsoring from companies and advertisement between the games. On the Web 3 side, we have the sales of characters, assets, parcels, secondary sales, and ad blocks marketing with billboards. So this is our team. We have from experienced game developers, smart contract developers, artists, sound engineers, everything inside. Then the partners and networks, we're partnering with Infinity Games, Crypto Rockstars Cruise, Cryptonauts, one of the biggest German communities, NFTeacher, and then the networks where we are inside, these are the strongest gaming projects in the Web3 space, like Kaiju Kings, Neo Tokyo, World Wide Web, and NFA Arcade. The status quo is that we have currently partners. The prototype is finished. You can play it in our booth. Tomorrow we will organize a tournament. We are currently again building the community. We have public relations, and the mint is currently live. The next steps are we want to onboard sponsors to finance our tournaments. We want to onboard strategic partners who want to work towards our goals, and we want also to go further with public relations like this year and go to conferences and share our vision. Thank you very much for your time. Here you can scan the QR code and register for the tournament tomorrow to win a legendary NFT. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Time for questions, and we only have 3 minutes.
Hey, do I understand correctly that you have both games and basically SDK for developers, right? So
yeah.
And SDK you want to sell for external partners as well, but
no. Sorry, we are not selling it. So basically what we want to do, we are building a game, and if somebody wants to own his assets, he can join the Web 3 version, and if not, he can just play the Web 2 version. And we are working with the Godot engine, what is open source, and we have all the SDKs provided from the community, so we are not selling that.
So you only want to evolve within your game ecosystem, not to partner with other game development studios, right?
Exactly. We want to onboard them, and then they can build games in our ecosystem. Exactly.
And you mentioned Web 2.5, right? But Web 2.5 means that you can't own the assets technically, because you understand. Can you comment on this?
Yeah, it depends how you understand Web 2.5. I think it is so early to talk about stuff like this, because also Web 3, it is really, really early, and we are all pioneers in the space. So I think it depends how everybody understands it.
I get it. Okay.
Any more questions? Well, we still have some time. So is there anything you would like to add?
No.
Yeah, do not
Yeah,
miss
do
the
not
tournament.
miss the tournament tomorrow.
Just come to the booth if you have any questions, if you want to test the game. We appreciate every feedback, and if you want to join our community, we're very happy about it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And that was the last pitching session of the day. So, thank you to the jury, and I will give the microphone back to Anna. I mean, she has her own microphone. So, thanks for your attention, and see you later.